Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
And welcome to another edition of the Ruthless Talk Podcast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. You know what that means. It's time to talk Monday Night Raw. Good old Monday Night Raw. If you've not checked out our last episode, there was a lot of shit that we covered, man. We talked R-Truth's release, Carlito's release. We talked about this counter-programming stuff going on with WWE towards AEW. Of course, SmackDown. We talked a lot about SmackDown. So there was a whole lot. So for today's going to be simplistic. Still a lot to talk about, but very simplistic nonetheless. And that is specifically Monday Night Raw. However, I do want to talk about this. And of course, you know, as far as all of these other Monday Night Raw reviews that we've covered, Brian, in the past, today is going to be no different, which is pretty much picking apart that is everything that is wrong about this product as well as about this company. But I do want to
ruining wrestling.
Ruining wrestling, I guess, is what we want to go by, right? So, but first things first, man, I want to give a salute to Tulsa, Oklahoma, who completely, let's just say, hijacked the show to a degree.
In a good way.
In a good way, right? In a very good way in regards to sticking it to this freaking company. And that is throughout this night. You heard in the main event, you heard it in the women's match with Kairi Sane and Raquel Rodriguez. And that is, we want truth chants. And that was pretty much hijacked throughout the show. I know that there's been a whole lot going on in regards to this R-Truth situation, his release. A whole lot of fans have been outspoken, and talent as well have been outspoken. People like The Miz, people like Road Dogg Jesse James on X/Twitter, and a bunch of other talents that are clearly frustrated in regards to this situation, you know, because let's face it, and I want to kind of just peel the Band-Aid off, and Brian, I'll get to your thoughts. Just let me have the floor for just a second. You know, Brian, we've seen a lot of talent come and go, right? We've seen a lot of talent come on to this company, leave shortly after. Some of them stay there for a very long periods of time. Some of them have better careers than others. We've seen a lot of people come and go. But this has been the one release to where WWE, they do this all the time, to where, all right, we're going to book you into obscurity. We're going to make you look like a joke. We're going to make you into a clown, right? The guy like similar to R-Truth, who goes out there, does all the comedic shit. And then once the contract is up, you add that to the fact to where he's a little bit older, he's 50 plus years of age, you know, then we'll sign you off, water underneath the bridge. But now you're starting to see that this is the straw, the final straw, at least for most of us fans, as I'm sure for some of these talents, that broke the camel's back in regards to what is a bigger issue. That's not just R-Truth, right? And I'll get more into R-Truth in just a second, but a bigger issue in regards to this company, this product that we once loved is slowly changing, not for the better, but for the worst, with the nonstop commercials and the advertisements, the shit booking that we talk about on this platform for the past several weeks and months, right? But I don't think, Brian, we have ever seen a talent leave or get released or have shown their future endeavors that has gotten this much backlash than we've seen with R-Truth for justified reasons. And now you're seeing it through New York Post, all of these blockbuster, you know, platforms talking about this situation, again, for justified reasons, right? But the fact of the matter is that the fans and even the talent are now officially seeing through the bullshit because of this decision that you made. Because regardless of what age R-Truth is, regardless of how you want to book him as such, not only did us, the fans, appreciate R-Truth and for what was given to him, crushed it out of the park 9-10 times out of 10. We all see this dude more than just a comedy act. And that's the problem in regards to how not just getting rid of R-Truth, right? If you want to get rid of R-Truth, because business is business, but it's how you're doing it.
Yep.
It's how you're going about business that's really not even benefiting the product as well as this company and the business as a whole. Because the truth, no pun intended, the truth of the matter is that for the last several years throughout this company, throughout this product, the one entertaining limelight from this entire company throughout this product, there's been one guy that's at least made you feel something. That's R-Truth, right? 2019, there was two people, Bray Wyatt and R-Truth with that 24/7
title, right?
Where you made this dude do everything underneath the sun. Frickin' this company told R-Truth to jump. R-Truth would say how high. From dressing up with a wig as a fucking ninja, as a fucking garbage can with Tozawa chasing after a 24/7 championship, like we said earlier. Everything that R-Truth did, he brought the best out of that situation. And even at 53 years of age, he is the one of few that could still do that not a whole lot of people can do on a consistent basis. Entertain. Entertain. And that's just the reality. And it sucks because the truth as well is that these shows, guys, simply suck. They just suck today. And the only entertainment that you got throughout this entire spectrum of the last several months and years of this product has been R-Truth. And now he's no longer here. And now you're starting to hear the backlash because R-Truth to this company was more than just a comedy act. He was more than just, a stupid joke or a gimmick or whatever the case that you want to throw out there, right? So where, again, not only fans, Brian, not just fans, to where they hijacked the show. You heard, we want R-Truth. We want truth. This entire show to where that was your biggest headline of the show. Nothing storyline wise. It was because of this decision that you made and the amount of backlash that you've gotten. It hijacked this entire freaking show. And that sucks because it's not even just R-Truth. It's because there's a bigger problem at stake to where R-Truth was just the final straw in regard to this situation. It's because not only are the talents defending R-Truth and they see the value and what he brings to that locker room and what he brings to this company, but it's the final straw to where they just see through the bullshit of TKO and most importantly, Triple H. And also, guys, one last thing. I don't want to hear all of this bullshit about Triple H's hands are tied and there's nothing that he can do and that TKO is the one that released R-Truth. Triple H has nothing to do with it. When the guy is the head chief content officer and he's the head of talent relations. So guess who's approving all of these releases, guys? It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Like, do you guys really think just because TKO is somewhat telling him what to do, that's an excuse to not give Triple H any sort of criticism or valid criticism that he knows nothing about it? Cut the bullshit, man. Stop. Right. And the talent
at worst, he's the number 3-4 guy in the entire organization. Like, yes, he knows.
Absolutely, right.
And he's
and
part
then,
of it.
And then there's going to be fans, right, that people will say, oh, well, James, why are people outspoken now, right? People looked at R-Truth as a jobber, and now when he's released, now everybody's at an uproar with R-Truth. That's the problem. We don't want to say that he's a jobber. No one thinks of him as a jobber. It's this company that paints the picture of him as a jobber. That's the problem. We don't look at him legit as a jobber, as a joke. It's the company that pictures or presents himself as that joke, as that jobber. That's the fucking problem, guys. I know there's already so many people that are also making that sort of argument. So it sucks, man, to where not only fans, Brian, but it's talents. And now, again, we're at a state in pro wrestling to where it's bad. It's really bad. And R-Truth is just part of what is a massive problem with this company, with TKO, with business, with how just business is being handled, and everything that both WWE and Triple H and everybody that's going on in regards to this entire situation with R-Truth, with Carlito, and the product itself and how much it sucks. And we appreciate more of R-Truth because of how entertaining he was, how much actual talent that he did possess, and doing everything underneath the sun that this company asked him to do. And then they give him that Saturday night's main event matchup against John Cena. They put him in a freaking forgettable matchup with JC Mateo. And then see you later, Toodles. Thank you for 25 years. Yeah. So, and that's it, man. Brian, I know that was a lot that I originally planned for, but what are your thoughts, man, in regards to just the situation with R-Truth, the We Want Truth chants? What are your thoughts, man?
James, man, that's a lot, dude. I'm glad you said, it's a bigger issue than R-Truth, and I've mentioned it here on this podcast before. Like, I in many ways, professional wrestling is a microcosm of our society at large in so many ways. And man, so this again is a product of something even bigger than wrestling, but it's us, man. This is what we do, man. Like we're a people that sit here and tell ourselves, or the talking heads, or whatever. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you be loyal to the company. $15 minimum wage. Oh my God, you're fucking insane. All this bullshit. And then you see a guy who does all that, pulls themselves out by their bootstraps, was loyal to the company, made chicken salad out of chicken shit time and time again. And at the end of the day, never. I mean, R-Truth, a guy that, look, a lot of what we see as wrestling and who gets remembered as the stars and the whatever, yeah, it's their talent, but it also has a lot to do with who decided to book them and push them and what gimmicks and what storylines did you put them in. R-Truth is a amazing wrestler. He's entertaining as shit. He's a good promo. He checks off every box you'd want a professional wrestler to check off. His time in WWE has largely been spent as a comedic gimmick type shtick. And every single time, he's made that shit entertaining. And so, yeah, he's never been in the main event picture much. He's not a 15-time world champion. That's largely because of the booking, not his talent.
Right.
And so I say like all that to start to say that, like, yeah, this is an American company, business, capitalism, all the bullshit we built this entire fucking system on. And you get a guy like R-Truth who's 53, but I mean, shit, the guy looks like $1 million. And really, if we're a wrestling fan, if we're polling 100 actual true wrestling fans, R-Truth is 1,000 times better in every measurable fucking category except maybe the ability to do a moonsault than Logan Paul. But here we are where WWE is going to choose Logan Paul over a guy that has proven himself time and time again, who is reliable, who is consistent, all that shit. They're going to trade it in just like that for the shiny new object. And everything is like that. It's not WWE or TKO. It's your business. It's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And here we are in a day and age where, yep, the WWE, just like everything else, their product is getting shittier and shittier, but they're going to charge you more and more and tout record profits.
Yeah.
And the thing is, man, and I do see, again, we're talking about WWE, but I see this in a much bigger scope. That, yeah, people are getting fed the fuck up, man. Like, this is not sustainable. This ain't right.
No.
This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
This is 100% the people in control selling you the fraudulent bullshit and telling you it's the real thing and charging you more for it. That's what it is. So, so I say all that to say, like, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me that they set up a world championship match in what is turning out to be a bullshit John Cena gimmick, and then send them packing a week later. I mean, fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. Yeah. And thank you, Ron Killings, R-Truth.
Yeah, very well said, man. And thank you to Tulsa, Oklahoma, as well for the We Want R-Truth chants, or We Want Truth chants, pretty much boycotting the show, hijacking the show, whatever you want to call it, right?
And when I say and boycott, sorry to cut you off there, but that's where, man, it's going to take us, the fans, man. Don't show up to the goddamn show. Don't fucking buy their merch. Don't buy that pay-per-view, man. Like,
exactly.
That's the only way. That is the only way that you were ever even going to actually like kind of speak on the wrestler's behalf. You want them to be protected, get insurance. They can't start a union right now because they would be crushed. Why? Exactly. Because there's no fucking support.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you brought that up, right? To where, like, most fans, they're gonna be like, oh, screw WWE, right? Justice for R-Truth, or like, we want truth. And guess what? They'll just go back and just start watching and paying for all the merchandise and the tickets and such, right? That's what pisses me off even more.
Until you hit them in the pocket, they ain't going to give a shit, and they're going to, continue to blow smoke up your ass and tell you they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, right? I think I forgot what the venue was last night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City, but that venue last night can hold up to, I did the research, it can hold up to about 19,000 people. Do you know how many tickets were distributed, Brian, for this show? If you had to guess.
I'll say, let me say 12,000.
9,000. They couldn't even sell 9,000 tickets to a 1,900,000 venue. Think about that for a second, guys, because think about it. They're not bragging about record sellouts anymore. They're not doing that. They're not like announcing Michael Cole and Pat McAfee or Triple A. They're not gonna, announce, hey, record sellout. It's a sellout here for Monday Night Raw, or a sellout in SmackDown, or we're sold out here in frickin' New York City, or whatever the fuck town they're in, right? And in regards to this, R-Truth situation, right? At least in Triple H's eyes, to where, like, hey, we're going to take money from R-Truth's contract. You know what we'll spend it on? We'll go use it on more sports celebrities and fucking internet celebrities, people like Tyrese Halliburton, right? So where that's fucking coming, bro. Let's bring Tyrese Halliburton onto this fucking show because he's a famous celebrity.
For it. I was waiting for it, and it's probably, and they're gonna bring
Jalen Brunson in.
Brunson.
Let's bring in all the famous celebrities, but instead we'll kick R-Truth to the fucking curb, who has busted his ass for 2 fucking decades. And then the same goes for the Miz, by the way, to where Miz is one of the few who is very, very frustrated in regards to this situation, to where he had to unfollow WWE on all social medias. He's gotten rid of everything WWE in his bio on Instagram, Twitter, everything, to where this dude, man, it's the final straw. He's done. And guess what? What is the Miz in the freaking doghouse now? Are we going to release Miz from his contract because he's slightly older and there's not?
And he'll be another guy that once they do it, there'll be a section in a crowd or whatever that'll, oh, well, he was never really a real WWE superstar. And I'm sorry, because I fucking thought that the first time he came on too, but that is another guy that has spent 2 decades busting his ass and doing every fucking thing that the company asked him to do.
Exactly. The Miz is another guy to where anything you ask him to do, if you ask WWE, ask him to jump, he'd say, freaking how high, man? Freaking let's do it. I'll freaking make it the best thing since sliced freaking bread, right? And I know it's funny, Brian, because ever since Triple H took over, right? Ever since it's this new era, supposedly, in WWE,
it's fucking disappointing.
Because the apple does not fall far from the tree. I tell that to everybody, right? So where Triple H, I thought he was supposed to care more about the pro wrestlers backstage. I thought he cared about all of his wrestlers and how he was Papa H, right? About how the environment is different in the locker room. And I'm sure it is to a certain degree, right? I'm not saying it's not, but I thought Triple H cared a lot about his wrestlers. Now, once he doesn't see any more value in you, wipe his hands, frickin' toodles, see you later, out the front door. That's just it, bro. The apple does not fall far from the tree, which is why I'm going to keep saying this on this platform. This company is better off without a McMahon in charge of creative, of WWE as a whole. Period. End of story. Because, guys, it's getting to the point to where us as fans are just fed up. And our truth is, once again, it is the straw that broke the camel's freaking back, to where you take a guy to where he is the only slight ounce of entertainment that you got. Maybe it might have been for jokes and laugh, but he at least made you feel something.
I mean, you really want to push that WWE in entertainment, right? He's fucking entertaining.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. You know, and we want to be able to cut costs and make budget cuts. Is it because TKO that you're actually thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt right now? Is because of the fact that you're looking for things to cut and to also make more revenue, because you're not making it through fucking record sellouts, right? You're definitely not going to be making it through Netflix in the next 5 years, the way that this frickin' product is going to continue to develop. Freaking Saudi Arabia. That's when we said it just last episode, bro. In about 2 years, Triple H, everyone around him, his ducks in a row, will not be in the situation, will not be where they're at in the next 2 years. I freaking promise you that. So it's a mess, bro. And again, our truth, we wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, absolutely,
but it's bigger, but it's also bigger than our truth.
Much bigger.
Man. It is a bigger situation, to where we as fans, as well as the talent, see all through Triple H and this company's bullshit, plastering commercials, plastering ads. Slim Jim is a recent one, to where they're going to put it on fucking tables, breakaway tables. Bronson Reed is going to send Sami Zayn through a table with a fucking Slim Jim logo on it.
I'm just waiting until, I mean, the day's coming where the wrestler's gear is going to have to be the fucking ad.
Right. They're going to be, bro, they're going to have fucking patches. They've already done that, by the way. At WrestleMania, they're wearing fucking patches on their fucking gear, bro. They're already starting it.
Did they?
Yeah.
No, dude, I didn't see that.
Finn Balor had like an advertisement patch.
No.
Bro, go back and watch. I promise you, dude. I promise you. Dude, I'm just like, Charlotte Flair is gonna have a fucking, on her robe, it's gonna say Dunkin' Donuts on her fucking robe. You're gonna have freaking like Io Sky come to the ring, and she's gonna be advertisement by freaking
whatever. You know, I don't know.
Starbucks. I don't fucking know. Some shit like that. Like, guys,
man.
It's fucking.
And that's what I'm saying. It's all the fraudulent money bullshit, man. And that's, god damn it, man. It's even. And I'll close with this too. It's not just wrestling. Like I said, it's any company. Me, myself, in my position, I've been with the same company for 13 years. And there's going to be a time where not because I can't do the job, not because I'm not damn good at my job, but it's going to be because I've been here so long and now I make X amount of dollars, and they're going to fucking cut me and pay somebody a third of what they're paying me. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah, man. So, but hey, listen, I just wanted to, the main thing, or at least long story short, is that just salute to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and hopefully that continues, by the way. I want to hear that shit on SmackDown.
Absolutely.
I want to hear that shit
up,
Money
man.
in the Bank.
Yeah.
I want to hear that shit at Glide. I want to hear that shit.
Make them fucking have to censor that whole shit out. Ruin that goddamn pay-per-view.
Seriously. Like, at some point, man, as fans, it's just like, listen, we'll always be wrestling fans at the end of the day. But when you are asked to be paid a certain amount of money, right, with all, again, advertisements galore, commercials, how ticket prices are, right, the freaking, you know, the monthly, you know, memberships and per month that you have to spend on either Netflix or Peacock subscriptions, right? As a fan, like, you have earned more for how much you are giving up to get the entertainment, or to at least get what you're paying for. And Brian, I'm just grateful that we have been spewing a lot of stuff for justified reasons of what's so wrong with this company. But the great thing is, Brian, is that so many people, and again, you heard it in that crowd in Tulsa, Oklahoma, people are starting to wake the fuck up. And
I'm telling you, especially for that Money in the Bank coming up, I don't even know where it is, but that crowd, LA, let them fucking hear you, man. Let them fucking at that pay-per-view.
Absolutely, man. And that's what sucks, man. Like the entire major headline throughout this entire Monday Night Raw, and we'll still go over the show in just a second, but the entire massive headline for this show was "We Want Truth Chants." That's your headline, guys. That's how bad it's getting and how much backlash that this company is getting from this one release, bro, to where they thought they could get away with it, Brian. Oh, let's book R-Truth like a clown, like
but we just put him in a championship match, guys. Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Fuck that shit, man. Yeah, let's book him as a joke. Let's a clown. We'll give him a rub, right? We'll give him the championship match. Oh, sorry, your contract's coming to an end. All right, we've done everything we could possibly do. Sayonara toodles. And the talent and the fans are saying, no, fuck that. Fuck you. And I freaking and I love it, man. I freaking love it. And I hope we continue to keep this energy, man, because it's about time that us fans put our fucking foot down and say enough is enough. Enough with this bullshit. We see through your bullshit. And Tulsa, great job. LA, whatever other cities they go to, keep that fucking shit going, man, because this fucking company needs to fucking hear it, especially Triple H and all of those freaking executive suits and ties, man. So
The Rock too, Mr. TKO.
The Rock himself as well. To where I don't know when the final boss is going to show up again, but I guess time will only tell. So that is our near 30-minute cold open as we will try to breeze through this show that was Monday Night Raw just last night. CM Punk starts off this show. Great. Finally, CM Punk actually is kicking off the show. For the last several weeks, he's just been at the near end of these shows, just ending the show. He's the biggest. He's the biggest star that you have on this show, and you put him near at the end of the last 60 seconds of a 2.5-hour show. Guys, I'm sorry, that's fucking stupid. Like, what are we doing? But finally, they have him start the show. He's hyping, the crowd up, and he's talking about his Money in the Bank ladder or qualifying match later on in the night, talking about both champions, Jey Uso and John Cena. He's interrupted by Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn gives him a pep talk of how important this qualifying match is. You need to win, CM Punk. You have to win this. If you don't win this, we're done. We're screwed. If Seth Rollins wins that briefcase, it's over. It's who knows what this place is going to end up being, if that makes sense. And then listen, if you do win that briefcase, Punk, then I'll be waiting for you, and we're going to be face to face again for different circumstances. And Punk is like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And they just shake hands, and that's the segment. So listen, I love the fact that Punk is starting the show. That's great. That's what you should be doing to create a pulse through the show. And then that carries at least some momentum throughout what you have advertised throughout the last or the next 2.5 hours, right? Like, hey, like this match is really important, right? You got to win this matchup. And spoiler alert, not to jump the gun here, but Punk doesn't win this match. Freaking the latte from Starbucks wins this match, wins this qualifying match. So I'm like, so what was the purpose of this matchup? So, I mean, I get it. Maybe Punk will still be a part of Money in the Bank, but you're telling me that El Grande Americano, this type of shtick, you're going to put in a ladder match because what? Because Penta's in it. Because Penta's in this match, and now because we're gonna get to possibly a mask versus mask, and then like El Grande Americano's mask is gonna be revealed, and it's Chad Gable. Is that what we're leading into for having El Grande Americano in this match? Guys, stop, bro. AJ Styles as well, to where I don't know what the fuck we're doing with him, as he's the one who took the pinfall in this main event. You had the heels stand tall in the same redundant, recycled fashion that they've had before.
I know.
So that was at least your beginning and closing segment. Shout out to Ozzy. I see Ozzy in the corner.
So the opening segment with Punk and Sami Zayn, I mean, it was all right. I am intrigued a little bit with something, we'll see a little bit later on with Sami, but again, with WWE booking, this is something that we've seen, a couple months back, and who knows if they're going to pull the trigger or whatever, but if they do, I think it could be really good. And And then, yeah, going into the triple threat match, I mean, El Grande Americano, he's in it now. What worries me now is, I say, it's LA Knight or bust. It's got to be LA Knight. But with Seth Rollins in there, and Heyman's going to come out, and Braun and Bronson Reed are going to come out. I don't see how Rollins isn't walking out of there with the briefcase. The only way that I see is something happening where LA Knight can win. Heyman really heavily mentioned the bloodline a week ago, and we haven't seen Roman Reigns, is if Roman Reigns returns. But other than that, man, I'm thinking Rollins is walking out of there again with the Money in the Bank, man, and I don't know.
You're probably right. I mean, LA Knight needs to win this match. I mean, the more that you try to hold off LA Knight and really truly putting the rocket on this dude, the less and less people are just going to care about it. So we're like, all right, how many times are we going to play this game now with LA Knight? You know what I mean? Listen, with Punk and Zayn, right? It's just like, I like Punk, and I like the fact that you're starting him off the show. And I'm not saying that this segment with him and Sammy wasn't bad per se, but it's just that I just don't, when you add on to this main event and the fact that Punk is not in it, when you know that Punk and Rollins and everyone has this sort of beef with one another, and with Roman Reigns, yeah, he possibly can return at Money in the Bank, and you'll possibly have him start something to where he's going to have a match for SummerSlam. You might see some 6-man tag matches with freaking Roman, because Brian, even if Roman
that's
Reigns
happening,
returns,
yes,
like that's just all I'm gonna just feel like it's just gonna lead to is just that, and then maybe Roman versus Seth Rollins in the future at some point. I mean, I don't see Punk and Roman at any time soon. I wouldn't.
No,
I mean,
not really. Yeah,
Punk is a good. I mean, Punk should be the baby face right now. There's no reason to turn Punk heel. Roman Reigns is a solidified face, so that match is kind of thrown out the window. So I guess you want to tell me that it's going to be Roman versus Seth at SummerSlam, and we're going to do a bunch of tag and singles and 6-man tag matches to get there. I just don't see the fun in that. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
which is why I'm watching this segment and I'm just not seeing anything get accomplished. And again, not that the segment was bad. And Sami Zayn he tries, man. He tries. Like, I listen to him talk and he tries to bring that passion and that amplification. He comes out and he's dressed up like the average ordinary man, right? Because he's just like everybody. It's what, like Jey Uso is kind of the same way. They're trying to relate to the crowd, which is what everybody just wants. Because forget about larger than life stars. Forget about people actually feeling as such. We just want people to be relatable, right? Be the relatable guy to the fans. For some people, that works, like Dusty Rhodes back in the day. That freaking works, but not with every fucking superstar. They do that with Sami Zayn. They do that with Jey Uso. They've done that with so many other fucking people, and it's just like,
well, that's the easy trope, to be the common man.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's like, you had the Dusty Rhodes stick back in the day, which, it felt like he legit was the common man, the average ordinary guy, right? The blue collared guy, because the way you booked him as such against feuds like Ric Flair and so many other people, right? It felt that way. Now you're just doing it with everybody because we like Sami Zayn, we like Jey Uso, and we like how we get to yeet nonstop for 10 plus minutes, right? That's my problem, is that I don't feel anything when Sami Zayn walks through that curtain. I just see another dude on the roster. Not saying that he's not talented. I like Sami Zayn. I'm not saying I don't dislike him, but I'm not captivated by what he's doing. And I can't say that I'm captivated about what Punk's doing. And I'm damn sure I don't give a shit about this faction with Seth Rollins. I just don't care for it. Unless you make them feel like an actual dominant faction, that where, yes, they're off the air looking dominant, but again, it's the same recycled thing that you just did just last week or 2 weeks ago. We've seen this already before. What are you doing to evolve this group to make them look more diabolical, look more vicious, make them actually feel like they're running Monday Night Raw? Are they actually really running Monday Night Raw? Be honest with ourselves. Yeah, the answer is no. Stop.
And neither was the Judgment Day when they kept saying it either.
No, absolutely no. We'll put all the titles on them, right? Because you see like the new little remixed version that of a theme song that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have, right? Guys, are they going to win?
Which was pretty cool. I gotta admit, that was pretty cool.
I mean, I like the visual, and like that's the thing about this faction, Brian. It's not that I don't have a problem with who's in this faction. You know, as long as you explain it properly and why these people are in it, I'm fine with it. But it's just how you're not following up on making this team look a certain type of way. You have a certain look of an entrance. That's just step one. But it's the segments, it's the storytelling of how you're evolving this group. And they're not doing that. It's just recycled, regurgitated garbage. That's just all it is, bro. And it's just like, I just don't know how much more I can see of it. It's just like promo, backstage segment, then match, and then post-match attack. Like, it's come on, man. It's just that's just my issue, man. So
while we were kind of on the subject of Sammy there too, you know, the backstage little interaction with Karrion Kross, man. I mean, that's
Karrion Kross,
like you said, I'm not this whole, you know, the face Sami Zayn. I mean, I like him. I've you know, the whole when he was with the Bloodline and then, you know, going after Gunter and his IC title run, you know, it was all really good. And now it's come to a place where, you know, just the comment, I'm just a good guy, the face, I could never quite get there, you know. Put him with fucking Karrion Kross and turn him like a little bit dark. And
I agree,
dude,
I mean, dude, if we take away, you know, again, things that Becky and Lyra have done in the past, at least for this week, again, Kross and Sami Zayn, that backstage segment was the most entertaining part of the show. I mean, is anybody shocked?
Yeah.
Is anybody shocked that Karrion Kross, a guy that does absolutely nothing, but just is thrown in random backstage segments that don't follow up anything. He's just there to
so far has not. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've been here with Sammy it feels like 2 months ago. So I don't know if they're really going to do anything, but fuck, man.
No, it's just like, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Shout out to Karrion Kross, man. The dude continues to push merchandise. The fans continue to try to get him over, to try to have some sort of reasoning to give Triple H and WWE to put him actually, or to make him a focal point of your show, not a championship, right? People are upset at the fact that he's not in this qualifying match, which I understand that frustration. But guys, I don't need a title. I don't need a briefcase on Karrion Kross. What I need is good booking. What I need is for this dude to feel larger than life, which I know he can be if you give him the fucking rocket. And that's just
100%, man. Like, after all I've seen just in the past, I mean, you know, shit, we can go back to what it was 2 years ago, whenever it was, when him and Scarlett showed up with the hourglass or whatever. But just in the last, you know, month and a half, 2 months, like, there is no doubt in my mind, and probably most true wrestling fans' mind, that if you book this guy and give him a segment and TV time and develop a story, he's gonna fucking kill it.
100%, man. Absolutely. More on that situation later on. Moving on, we got a qualifying match. This is the final qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Stephanie Vaquer, she's making her first match as a member of the Monday Night Raw roster. She is taking on Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan. Stephanie Vaquer picks up the W and wins this triple threat match, pinning Ivy Nile, and is moving on to LA. She's pulling double duty. She's going to be in a match teaming with Lola Vice, I'm pretty sure, for Worlds Collide. And now here she is going to be in a match, or in this women's ladder match. Look, man, I'm all for putting a rocket on Stephanie. I'm all for it. I mean, she's got the look. She's got obviously great in-ring work.
The gimmick, ethic. the work. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, Brian, it's just that I said this on social media. It's just that when you think of debuts, or when you think somebody is making their return, or they're officially a Monday Night Raw superstar on the main roster, like, the last thing I would think of is, just put them in a qualifying match. to where like you do the freaking, again, this is what's so fucking odd with this company. They do the intro vignette video package, and then you just thrust her several seconds later into the ring and in for a matchup. To where, why not build that up until she's actually in that ring in front of a crowd? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just so frustrating to where this company doesn't give you a real reason outside of, oh, well, you know her from NXT, so there you go, you should care about her. Well, not everybody watches NXT, bro. You can't just rely on a certain demographic for people to care about this person. So look, Stephanie Vaquer, sure, she won this qualifying match. I'm sure they might put her on a winning streak. Maybe they might have her fight for a championship. All of that's great. But moving forward, after this ladder match is done, because I don't think she's going to win this ladder match, nor should she, what are you doing after that? And the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, to progress not only her momentum, but her character and what she's involved in? That's the question. Because you could put as many titles and put her in many banger matches as you want. If you're not giving people a reason to care, nobody's going to care about Stephanie. She's just going to be another member on the roster. And that's it, Brian. So what are your takes, man? Stephanie going to LA to be in this Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, I don't mind that call necessarily, having her in the match and winning that.
No.
I think, at least I think for the women's, Money in the Bank match, I think it's going to be by far the better of the two. And I mean, you got Vaquer and Roxanne Perez in there, and I think it's just, that's going to be an opportunity where both of them are going to, do some really great shit on a pay-per-view. And so, hey, no harm, no foul. I would still say Naomi's got to be winning that match. I think it's a pretty good lineup, really. As long as Naomi comes out of there, because again, with that lineup, there's nobody else you can put it on right now, or give that briefcase to. So we'll see. But shout out to Vaquer, because the vignette, her look, her in-ring work, she's got it all, man. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I like this lineup more for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match than I do for the guys. I mean,
100%.
outside of Rhea Ripley just doesn't really belong in this match, because she's already, at least how she's booked, she's already a solidified main eventer. So why does she need to compete for a briefcase? It's just like everyone else at least somewhat makes sense, like Naomi, Alexa, Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne. That makes sense. Like
Julia too.
Why does Rhea need to be in this? It just doesn't. It's like somebody doesn't belong. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to say,
I know.
It's Rhea Ripley. It's just like, come on, man. Same thing with Seth. It's just like, Seth's going to win a briefcase. What is that going to do for anybody? It's like, okay, he had the heist of the century. That's great. But why not give it to somebody that's going to actually benefit them and actually evolve their careers? It's like, that's what the Money in the Bank briefcase is for.
Exactly. That's
Seth
why
Rollins,
I kind of like that women's lineup so much better, because you got the three kind of rookies, if you want to say, and then Naomi, who's a vet, but she's finally on the come up,
Right, Naomi's never really been in that main event slot. She's been in around like the mid card and some other random fucking matches over the last 10 years, right? So all of these ladies in this match make sense. If you want to,
and Alexa Bliss kind of returning,
absolutely. So yeah, man, I do like, at least outside of Rhea, the lineup of who's involved in this match. And yeah, man, it's just like, listen, man, you can do everything underneath the sun to make Stephanie Vaquer look like a star, but if you're not actually booking her and making us care of what she's doing, none of it matters. You can put her in a banger match against Rhea. They teased that freaking just last night.
Yeah.
So you can do all of that, man, right? But nobody's gonna care if you don't book it properly, and that's just it. So freaking Rusev had a vignette segment, and then Sheamus had a backstage segment talking about Rusev and talking about their history, and eventually probably being in a one-on-one match together in the future. Michael
Saturday night's main event.
Right. Freaking Michael Cole said something like, oh, I can't wait to, pay money to see that match, or something like that, or something along those lines. Michael Cole, you actually can watch that for free, because we've seen this fucking match for the last
Right.
10 years. And guys, last time I checked, nobody has really given that much of a shit about it to see it again. I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
can say again,
Yeah.
Brian, we talk about history, right? They have history with one another, so it must be important. It's not. Nobody gives a shit. Listen, they might put on a good match, guys. I'm not saying that they're not going to, but why should we care about a history type of feud when no one has given a shit about this history to begin with? It's not captivating. This is not like the fucking Shield history. This is not freaking, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So yeah, Brian, any thoughts about that? Rusev and Sheamus.
No, just I mean that vignette again, much like when he was doing in AEW. I think the vignette, I mean, he killed it. It was a really great vignette.
Right.
But outside of that, I mean, this whole booking, even from bringing Rusev back in to, I guess, be the bully against little dudes like Tozawa, and now Sheamus has got to be the bully to the bully. No, it's a shit story. It's garbage.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible, man.
Yep.
It's garbage. You got a tag match. You got the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus the War Raiders. Once again, if this match seems familiar, it is, because we've constantly watched this matchup on a loop over and over again. And guess who's at ringside?
As a matter of fact, not that it was intentional and everything, but wasn't it a match against the War Raiders where McDonough got hurt?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And guess who's at ringside, guys, on commentary? It's the New Day. Does that sound familiar? It should, because we've also have seen that before countless upon countless of times already as well. They eventually get kicked out of ringside as there were some altercations outside of the ring. Roxanne Perez gets involved in this match. They cost the War Raiders this matchup. Finn Balor hits the coup de grace and picks up the W for the Judgment Day. So what does that mean, guys? Is the heels Judgment Day now earn a title match now against the heels? That's the New Day. Guys, what the fuck? At least for the tag titles it's concerned, like, what are we doing, right? As far as the Judgment Day, let me say this, because there's been some backstage segments, of course, with Liv Morgan, and you got Raquel and Finn Balor. And clearly they're trying to, I guess, tease a face turn with Dom and Liv with a heel Finn Balor. I don't know how this is going to achieve anything as far as turning these people. But you know what I will say, Brian? And again, this is just me just trying to be fair. It's the only storyline that's consistent in this entire freaking show. I'm just going to be honest with you. Is it a regurgitated Judgment Day storyline? Yes. But at least it's somewhat accomplishing something on a weekly basis. All of these other stories, including Seth and his faction, I can't say that. I can't. So at least there's something there. But like I mentioned, if this has been the best thing as far as consistent storytelling, then that tells you how bad this show is in totality.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what are your thoughts, man? Judgment Day versus the War Raiders and Roxanne Perez.
I kind of feel the same, man. I mean, I do, I guess, like this little addition of Roxanne, added into it. But you're right. I mean, it's just like we've been here like, Rhea's going to leave, or they're going to kick her out and they're going to break up, or Damian Priest is going to leave and then they're going to break up. And it's just, okay. And now we're here with Roxanne and Dom and Liv, and, like I said before, like, yes, this is okay. It's a somewhat consistent story, even though it's regurgitated. But goddamn, if you don't actually break up the Judgment Day here, what the fuck,
Yeah. No.
So
absolutely.
yeah.
Up next, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra hits the ring. She's got a very mean, serious look as she gets to the ring, as she wastes no time calling out Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out. They have a war of words, and it's pretty much, I'll be honest, even though this has been, to a degree, the best thing on Monday Night Raw, to a certain degree, at least what Becky and Lyra have been able to do with one another, this week it's just a bunch of word salad. If I win, you have to raise my hand, right? I made your career relevant. Lyra's like, no, I made me matter. I made myself matter. Back and forth word salad. This eventually had Becky leave the ring, and Lyra's like, no, let's do this right here, right now. Let's not wait until Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch is like, I don't fight in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll see you in LA for Money in the Bank. She walks off. Lyra storms up the rampway, and they start a brawl. Does it sound familiar? It should, because once again, it's regurgitated, recycled garbage that you see on this show.
Yeah.
Nonstop brawling with no actual care or effort put into it. It's just lazy, repetitive garbage to where let's start animosity. What a better way than just doing another brawl. So look, man, again, Becky Lynch is a really good heel. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
She does her part. Lyra, again, I am seeing some improvement, and I think I give also the kudos to Becky Lynch for bringing a lot out of her. But guys, like the story, I'm sorry, it's just like for this week in particular, it's just not evolving. It was the same. The words exchange, guys, were the same. It's just like, okay, it's like, oh, it's like, I didn't make, you didn't make me matter, right? I made myself matter. I put myself in this position. Becky's like, nope. The only reason why you're relevant is because of me and what I did for your career. And again, going off of history, right? And that's all fine and dandy. But if you keep doing the same regurgitated lines in the same segments in the same setting, nobody, guys, is going to care. And you're just going to do the same one-on-one match. It's not like there's a stipulation, right? To where you did the one-on-one match at Backlash. You would think because it's so personal now, you would think that there would be a stipulation or something like that. That would at least make sense. No, it's just going to be another match. Maybe a stipulation at the last second will be added last minute. I've seen this company do that. And that's just it. Again, much love to both of these ladies. I don't care for it. I'm sorry. I just don't care for it. Brian, what are your takes, man?
I'll pass on this one. I mean, yeah, it was just, there wasn't much to the segment, but it has been one of the better stories consistently, or, whatever. Lyra has shown some improvement. So, but yeah, for this week, it was nothing to it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, just fucking, it's word salad, man. It's like every week I just feel like I hear the same words in the same promo, right? Maybe a mixture of different things here and there, but it's mostly the same fucking promo segment. And again, that has nothing to do with the talent, right? The talent has to go out there and perform it. But again, man, it just comes down to the writing and the booking, and maybe to a degree, yes, the performers, but mainly of just not putting these performers in the best position possible to evolve the story that they're in. And that's the fucking problem. So, you have a tag match. You have Jey Uso, your world champion. I still can't believe this fucking guy is your world champion, but here we are. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed, or as Michael Cole likes to call them, frickin' Braunzilla and the Unpredictable Badass.
All right, homie.
It's just like, bro, and you want me to take these people seriously, right? More like, I'll rename them. I'll make it sound better. How about Clownzilla and Unpredictable Dipshit? How about that? That might sound a lot better. Oh my fuck. What the fuck? Can you get any more corny than that shit, dude? Oh my God. Listen, what I will give credit was at least how the entrance looked, Paul Heyman coming out in the smoke and everything. But guys, like, how can I take you seriously if Michael Cole is on commentary?
Especially when you're supposed to be like the badass faction of the whole show.
How the fuck is that?
Can you imagine, like, back in the day, like, if the Road Warriors came out and like, oh, it's Hawkzilla? Like, no, man.
What are we doing, bro? Oh my God, man. It's so stupid. All right, freaking Sami Zayn. Listen, I like Sami Zayn. Don't get me wrong, but the dude's out there like a fucking cornball dancing with fucking Jey Uso. I'm like,
that's why I think he's got to go heel, man.
What am I watching, dude? It's okay. So we got this tag match, right? Seth Rollins comes out, forces a DQ. I honestly thought Sami Zayn was just going to take another pinfall and just, I guess the heels were going to win this match, but I guess you do a DQ finish. Seth Rollins interferes. They try to take out, I believe it was Sami Zayn on the announce table. They tried to both of them pretty much, but they had Sami Zayn, I believe, on the announce table. Bronson Reed was about to do the tsunami splash through the table. Punk gets involved, hits a steel chair shot to both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins is like, oh shit, what do I do? I'm just going to retreat. All the other faces merge into the ring. And that was pretty much it. I mean, Brian, what are your takes, man, on this tag match? What do you think?
I don't know, man. I mean, especially, all right, I'll start with this, especially how it ended with Bronson Reed hitting the tsunamis on Jay. Like, I just don't know, man. I mean, so he's got the rematch coming up with Gunther. I mean, obviously, he either wins or loses, and so I mean, I guess maybe you can look at this as a way of like, because I mean, the way Bronson Reed, not that he hit it 5, 6, 7 times, but before he went out with the injury, like that's what he was doing to people, to Seth Rollins, right? Like taking them out, injuring them with the tsunami splash. So you gotta, again, with the consistent booking, assume that's what they're trying to do here with Jay and Bronson too, or at least it tells me the writing's on the wall that Gunther is getting that title back. Or at least he should, if this is what you're doing with Jay. Because no, god damn it, you can't have Jay Uso is not the dude, I'm sorry, to go out there and get his ass beat, tsunami after tsunami from Bronson Reed, a spear from Braun Breaker, and then go out there and beat Gunther. Nah, fuck that, man. No fucking way.
Yeah.
So that's why I just don't know where they're going with it, man. Like,
no,
on the one hand, like both ways are shitty. Like, are you really just running it back again with Gunther to put the title back on him, or running it back again with Jay to have Jay beat Gunther? It just, what the fuck? I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. It's just it makes
sorry,
it makes no sense. Yeah.
And then to the total. Sorry to keep going here, but like again, if the people going up against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Seth Rollins, what up, dude? Or Sami Zayn, or CM Punk. Sami Zayn, CM Punk, and Jey Uso.
Jey Uso, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, they deserve to get squashed in that scenario. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just again, man. It's these scenarios that don't actually make this faction feel fucking dominant. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's just like, it's just like, what they were trying to accomplish. Like, it's like Seth Rollins was holding his soldiers back, and like, wait a minute, it's like, it's like let's pick and choose our time, right? Punk's got this matchup. Let's take advantage of it later on in the night. And so that that's what they want to at least make you, or try to sell you, that's what is, anticipating you to watch at the end of the night. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, again, the sooner we can get this title, I'll just keep it simple as this, Brian. It's the sooner we can get this title off of Jey Uso, the better it will be
I
for
think
this
so,
fucking
man.
company.
Yeah,
Seriously,
and I hate to say that about Jay, because you and I have both been on here saying, like, it really, this has, in my opinion, although yes, the talent does have to rise to the occasion, it's not so much on Jay. This is a lot of booking, a lot of like, hey, man, you as the executives need to be reading the tea leaves anyway, and this is what you're doing, and having Gunther tap out in 5. It's just, all of it is garbage, man.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It really is. We got the ladies again. More "We Want Truth" chants echo around the arena. Of course, WWE, Netflix, they want to turn that fucking shit down, because ain't no way you're gonna cheer for somebody that is no longer here, right? So they did the same thing, by the way, in the tag match with the Judgment Day and War Raiders. I forgot to mention that. But Kairi Sane picks up the W. You had Io Sky out there to run down and attack Liv Morgan. So with all of that crazy chaos, Kairi Sane's able to take advantage and hit the insane elbow for the win. She does that beautifully,
which is beautiful, by the way. Yep,
it really seriously is.
Yep.
So Kairi Sane picks up the W, and hey, good for Kairi Sane. 2 weeks in a row, and she's picking up W's. Hell fucking yeah, man. Shout out to Kairi Sane.
Yep.
As far as what this is accomplishing, I guess the dissension of Liv and maybe with Raquel, or adding some sort of, I guess, friction between the two. Like, they're not on the same page, I guess. But guys, the problem is, who really truly gives a shit? that's the problem, man. It's just like for Kairi Sane, it's just like, okay, she's racking up W's, but is Kairi Sane a bigger star with these last 2 victories than she was 2 weeks ago? You see what I'm saying? Like that's also the problem. To where victories mean a lot, victory, but that's only part of the booking. To where it's, even though Kairi Sane has collected 2 W's, but it's going to take more than just 2 straight W's to make us feel a certain type of way about Kairi Sane if you're going to use her to a certain degree. And that's it. It was a match. It happened. And that's all I got. Brian, what are your takes?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same, good match. Shout out to Kyrie. But again, I hesitate to, we see EO come back out there, and it just, to me, man, I'm just waiting for, like, okay, is Asuka getting ready to come back, and you're just going to put Damage Control back together with them 3, and, like, it just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what's coming, Yeah. And nothing else, no more creative shit, just, let's get Damage Control. They're all healed up now. Let's get them back together and do the same thing.
Do the same exact shit that we've been doing, right? Exactly. Once Asuka comes back, right? It'll be like just, it's Asuka, freaking minus Dakota Kai, right?
Minus Dakota Kai,
Kyrie and fucking and EO. That's it. Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, guys, moving on. We get to this main event. The last men's qualifying matchup. It's Punk. It's AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. And yes, El Grande Americano wins this matchup. Of course, with a little bit of help from, of course, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, who interfered in this matchup. Once El Grande Americano won this match, AJ Styles picks up the pinfall. What the fuck happened to Styles?
Or gets the pinfall,
It is unfucking believable. But Styles takes the pin. El Grande Americano wins this match. He gets out of dodge, and then the beatdown with Seth's new faction, along with people like Sammy, and also Jey Uso was out there.
Yeah, I guess I jumped the gun on that before. I thought it was at the end of that match and not the qualifying.
Yeah, it was towards the end of this main event. That's pretty much how the show goes off the air. And again, man, look, great. You're making them look dominant. That's what you should be doing. But again, guys, we did this same exact segment not too long ago on this same exact freaking show. And that's what I mean, man, about not evolving these segments of what Seth Rollins and this fucking faction is doing. And again, guys, like, what is this leading to? Is this leading for Roman Reigns to come back and we're going to do a fucking a bunch of 6-man tags? Are we actually going to evolve this freaking faction to make them look more dominant? Are we going to add, we do some cool storytelling with Paul Heyman, right, to insert him into all of this to make, like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? It's just, that's Brian. I just don't care for it. I just do not care. When this show went off the air, bro, I gave 0 shits. I felt absolutely nothing. And guys, also, shocker, you got more "We Want Truth" chants throughout this entire main event, and that has been the biggest headline throughout this entire show for how much of a disservice you've done to R-Truth and how much backlash this company has gotten, and it completely hijacked your show. Good job, WWE. Great job. Fantastic stuff. Brian, what are your takes, man, about Raw, this main event? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, in all seriousness, like, you and I have come on here and we're both wrestling fans, and I'm always going to be a wrestling fan. And whether I'm hardcore watching it or just kind of like tuning in and out or whatever, it's always going to be around, But, as we started, how we started this podcast, and with the release of R-Truth, and just the state of everything as it pertains to wrestling, right? Like, yes, this is supposed to be an entertainment, an outlet for the fans, right? And these wrestlers, put on that show for us. They should be compensated well for that. They should be protected for that. They should have health benefits for that. And it's one of those things, man, where, like, people, all of us, like, what we say doesn't match our actions. And this is anywhere on the spectrum from upsetting to sad to angering to, what the fuck, or, a release of like R-Truth.
Yeah.
But then what are we going to do? Because we see, like, to me, this is how I see it, like Triple H, Nick Khan, y'all up in here playing in our faces because every time we see you, you're telling us about your record revenue, but you can't afford R-Truth, you know? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And
No,
that's and like I
they're
say, the
gonna take
bigger
that.
perspective, that's your business, that's your
Yeah.
job, that's your company too.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, Brian. They'll use that money to go out and get more sports celebrities and internet
Yeah.
celebrities. I'm telling you, bro. It's happening. Listen, Tyrese Halliburton, bro. It's only a matter of time, man. Let's bring in Tyrese Halliburton and let's take all of these other D-list celebrities onto our show to fill up the show. Forget about Karrion Kross. Forget about the Miz. Forget
Yep.
about R-Truth. Guys that are actually entertaining and
I
actually bring
wonder
a
I
lot to
wonder
the
about
company.
this, and I'm sure R-Truth probably does surpass him, but I wonder just in the WWE, how many world title shots he's had throughout his 25-year career and
I
how
think
many
he's on.
Logan Paul has already had. You
I
know?
would I would say I think R-Truth, he had that match against John Cena. Well, obviously it's Saturday Night's Main
Right,
Event. That's
right.
one. He had another matchup with Cena back in 2011. That's number two. And I think he was in that was a number one contenders match. That was the John Morrison. That was the heel turn when the little Jimmy thing started,
Right, right.
and he was smoking a cigarette with the heel turn and shit like that.
See, that shit, man,
Um,
and bro, like
so I think it's
entertained us
only
all the way through, even if it was a shit gimmick like the 24-hour or
Yeah,
24/7
24/7
title.
title, right?
Yeah,
So I think if my math is correct, or at least off the top of my head, I want to say it's only maybe been 2 or 3 matches
yeah,
tops, and
right.
Logan has had what? He had a match with
Three already
Roman.
at least.
I think with
Roman,
Roman, he had with Cody,
Cody.
and then he just had it with Jey Uso. So at least it's been 3 for Logan. So just as
Yeah,
equally the amount of matches that R-Truth, world title matches that R-Truth's gotten, yeah, Logan Paul has already gotten, and it's probably not going to be, it's not going to just stop at 3 matches. So,
and
um,
here's the kicker too, because and this is why it really it kind of does dig at me a little bit with the Logan Paul thing, is because a motherfucker like that will actually think he has earned, he has deserved, he is better than R-Truth. He's a better wrestler. What I've already got 3 titles, whatever. No,
mhm.
you're not. You never will be. Period. You know, but he'll believe it because motherfuckers click his YouTube and donate and buy my Prime drink and watch me do a moonsault and fucking fuck you, man. It's the fraud. The fraud getting paid as a real thing.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. It really is a shame, man. It's really a weird, bizarre time to be a wrestling
Yeah.
fan. That's for damn sure. It's just like, man, it's like that whole Batista meme all over again. What the hell has happened to this business? Seriously, like it's unbelievable. It really
Yeah.
is, man. It's just like, and it's not going to stop. If you think the advertisements, the commercials, right, the ring looking like a fucking billboard at this point, it's not going to stop, bro. They're
Nope.
going to put it on tables. They're going to put it on the actual wrestlers. They might put it on the fucking rampway. It's going to look like an absolute joke. It's going to be pathetic. It's going to be an eyesore, and the booking and the creativity is not going to be any fucking better.
And the
And
only
God
way it stops is us, the
is only
fans,
us,
not
man.
buying it.
That's the thing, man.
Yep.
And that's the thing about us wrestling fans, man. Trust me,
Yeah.
I did not watch this show live. I actually watched it
Yeah.
earlier today, and it only took me maybe less than an hour to watch because I've seen everything that I've already have seen before within this show. Nothing is new, nothing is organic, nothing is fresh. It's recycled, it's regurgitated, and it's just on to the next. That's just what WWE cares about, man. It's just on to the next show. It's on to the
Yeah.
next this, and it's on to the next that. Oh, it's like, oh, R-Truth, freaking let's push him to the curb. Let's bring in the next
Yep.
sports celebrity, internet celebrity. Let's move on to the next event, right? Record revenue here, quote unquote. So, and that's all
Yeah.
that matters, man. And it's up to us, the
100%.
fans, to hold this company accountable, man. That's why I always talk about upping your standards, man. You're the one, guys, that are paying all of this money to go to these events and paying all the the championship titles and the merchandise and all of this shit. Only us by our actions, not just by our words at this point. It's by our actions to actually either turn the channel off or buy your fucking money or use your money wisely on other things outside of professional wrestling and WWE. And that's it. And until that happens, Brian, like you said, unfortunately, nothing is going to change. And R-Truth is just another reminder of why things need to fucking change in this company. But 100%. If not, he's just going to be another name that, unfortunately, if things don't change, he's just going to be another name that just came and gone. Will still be remembered, right, for all the entertainment that he did.
Yeah.
But to this company, he's just another name. Oh, thanks for your time. Toodles. We don't need you anymore. And it sucks, man. It really does suck. So much love to Ron Killings. Thank you to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's keep that fucking shit rocking, boycotting this fucking company. That is going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That has been your Monday Night Raw review show. Stay tuned for this week. We got Sports Corner coming up. A lot of stuff in sports. We got the College World Series Super Regionals. We're going to talk all about that. Of course, a massive firing that happened in the NBA. If you're a Knicks fan, you know. We'll definitely talk about that. The NBA Finals starting up this Thursday as well. And a bunch of other stuff happening in the sports world. And we got AEW Dynamite to talk about. They got a 4-hour show, both Dynamite and Collision, that is coming up as of tomorrow. So we will find some time to catch as many of both shows, Dynamite and Collision, for tomorrow night. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We got Money in the Bank coming up this weekend. We'll talk about that Sunday night with a special guest. Stay tuned to see who that special guest is going to be. And as always, we want to thank you guys. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. That is Ruthless_Talk. I do want to say this as I made this post on social media. I want to thank everybody for having Ruthless Talk reach to 2,400 followers on TikTok. And we get a
Thank y'all, Pete.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of the love, for watching our content. We appreciate you, man. Whether you like it,
Absolutely.
Whether you dislike it, we appreciate it. Again, I'm very grateful for the platform continuing to grow on both platforms and on YouTube as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, we got at least 25 more subscribers until we hit 400. So again, if you know somebody, spread the word, smash that freaking subscribe button, get your boys to 400 subscribers on YouTube. And as always, man, stay tuned for more wild, crazy content of pro wrestling to come. Brian, your final thoughts before we end things?
Well, after this another disappointing Raw review, man, just looking forward to talking about some good sports and actually, for what it's been the last couple months, good wrestling and good storytelling from AEW. So
absolutely,
I hope that continues. Yep,
absolutely, very well said.
And keep that energy up, LA. Money in the Bank, man.
Yeah,
let's hear your love for R-Truth.
Absolutely. Keep that shit rocking, man. Absolutely. Much love to R-Truth once again. That is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
Until next time, there will be a next time. Your boys are signing off saying salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Top guys, we are out.
Out.